Hey everyone, Jesse here with Idaho Homesteading. Today we are building some portable compost worm totes, and so we're marking out the tops. We're going to drill them with a drill, but basically we have some big compost worms that are coming. We're going to split them up into 5 containers. These are about a shoebox size, so I'm not exactly sure. So we're going to put some dirt in there. We're going to split them up into worms, and then we're going to grow out a bunch of worms in different totes and kind of sell these as fishing bait. So basically someone would get one of these totes and they'd have all the worms they need probably for an entire season. So that's what we're doing, and we'll go to the next stage. Okay. So we'll go through this entire thing and drill a bunch of holes in the top. We're going to keep them small so that if any like little bugs or something go through, then hopefully it's just harder for them to get in there. And after this, we'll move on to the next stage. Alright, so now we're going to fill up these worm bins with some organic soil. So this is Miracle-Gro Organics, and we'll just fill them 3/4 of the way. And then the next step will be putting all the worms in and putting some food on top. Alright, so we have the worm bins filled up. And we even found some compost worms in there. But we will wait for the worms to come and then we'll put them in. We got the worms today in our package. So I'm going to carefully open it up. And then start putting them in all of our worm bins. See if I can grab them carefully. But these guys are super red compost worms. They are bigger than the regular normal compost worms, and so the idea is to, put a bunch in each one. And I have 10 bins, and I'd like to have these guys replicate and fill up the entire bin. We'll feed them each day, and you start with 250 of these bigger worms, but you end up with quite a bit more per container. And so I will feed these guys cornmeal to start out with. We'll see how that does. Generally, when you put them in a new container, if you can put them under some sort of lights, that's the best. I don't think these guys are going to be able to crawl out of the holes up top, so I think we're fine. But I found with some of the other smaller compost worms, you'll get all of them just trying to get out of their bin. The first couple days, they'll try and climb out. And if you keep some sunshine or some light on them, they will stay inside the bins. So we'll do that. And so we'll come back as well later on, probably tomorrow, and just verify that all these guys survive, that they're doing good. They are going to be staying in the garage for the foreseeable future, and we'll grow them out there. The soil is put some moisture in the soil, so hopefully they'll crawl down in there and do what they do best. See if I can get a good clump of them. I'm trying to put about 20 to 25 worms in each. The bag should hold about 250 that I purchased. And it's a little cold out, so they probably are probably not moving around so much. There we go. Spread these guys out. And then when we're all said and done, we will put these lids back on and just kind of watch them. We'll feed them tomorrow. Just check the moisture levels, regularly, food levels regularly. And in about 6-8 weeks, we should have new worms, new eggs, and so we might have some smaller guys in there along with the full size. So the best temperature that they should be at is basically 70 degrees or so. I think that's ideal, where they're the most active. So if it's too cold, they're a little slower. Too hot, probably just not good for them. And you can see the whole size. It's kind of the smallest level, so these guys are not going to crawl out. With that, thanks for watching. And so now I'm putting together, finally got some cornmeal. It's been kind of crazy getting it around here, but I have this coarse ground cornmeal and just kind of sprinkling it all over some of the worm bins. As you can see, none of the worms are on top, so they're still surviving. So we'll put this stuff on top, see if they eat it, make sure that the worms are, still have moist soil in there, and then they should be doing their thing. So we'll keep feeding them over the next couple weeks and then kind of sell these as we go. Just wanted to check in on the worms. I put in some cornmeal. I wanted to see if they're actually eating it. I did find some of the worms in some of the other bins eating the cornmeal, so I think they're doing it, but I just spread a little bit. It looks like it obviously it got a little moisture in there, so it's not as hard as when you first get the cornmeal. So I think it's a good solution, an easy solution to feed them, because I really don't want to open up each one every day, put in some waste scraps, go from there. But as you notice, the worms are no longer on the top of the bins, so they did not die, they did not escape. They are doing what they need to do in the compost. All right, with that, that's the fishing bait totes overview. And looks like we got a little bug there, but that's it.